Now, this is the blueprint on how you can turn your dreams into reality.
Number one, don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 5. Reinvention is not starting over. It's finishing and executing on what you have been dying to do. Don't worry so much about the end goal. Absolutely set the intentions, but then divorce from that and marry the process.
Now, before we hop into today's show, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's jump into the video.
So Craig, man, I was doing some research about you, man, and I was very, very impressed with who you are as a man. And one of the things that I found out very interesting, I want to start here, is that you left a very lucrative career on Wall Street to follow your passion. And I think with me being a money guy, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. He left a lucrative career, something that was paying him a lot to help him build wealth, to help him get out of things, to follow your passion. And I think sometimes people leave a good situation to follow a passion that leads to nothing. But in your situation, it led to everything. Let's break that down for the people who are listening to us today. What made you do that? And what was the thought process behind it? And what was the rewards for it?
Yeah, so I found myself in the dark season right before the pandemic about 3 years ago. And I'd been on Wall Street for 13 years. I had my own business. And as you attested to, I was making money. And at that season of life, I attributed that to be successful. And just to be clear for your listeners, making money is absolutely a part of success, but it's not the thing. And after finding myself in a little bit of a dark season, actually a lot of a dark season, if I'm being honest, just getting out of a toxic relationship. My best friend, my dad, had got diagnosed with cancer. He's still battling. I found
Mm,
myself just miserable because even though I was making money, I had my own business. If I'm being honest, I wasn't exactly putting a dent in the universe. And it got to the point where on Mondays, I was just looking forward to the weekend. And I started drinking more than I'd like to admit, Anthony. I think I was just trying to escape my reality, but I didn't stay
mm,
long. And I'm not sure. I'm big into divine. I don't know if I found running or running found me, but I started running a bunch of marathons, which was awesome. I'd never been a runner before. Wasn't looking to become a pro. I was just looking to find myself and get some confidence and realize that I could do some hard things. It's kind of like a gateway drug for me. And then when the pandemic happened, this was a global awakening, but for me specifically, and I imagine a lot of people, they looked at this as a historic opportunity to just reassess. And I got very quiet, blocked out the interference and the noise, and just connected. And I realized I had been really miserable, and
mm.
making money doing that was not going to cut it for me. And I wanted to figure something else out, and I didn't know when the world would stop still like this again. So from becoming available and getting these downloads started coming to me instantly. I had been obsessed with personal development for 15 years, studying all of it: Kabbalah, NLP, law of attraction, emotional intelligence. It occurred to me in that moment that it was more than just a passion. This is my purpose, my assignment. Literally, the next day in a run, it came to me, my brand, CLS, Cultivate Lasting Symphony, play on my initials. I came home, I had no followers, no connections, no anything. And I had that one moment of imposter syndrome that I think a lot of people have right before they're about to do something big. And it occurred to me, the COI, the cost of inaction, was way too high. And I would
Mm.
actually rather die than choose to go back and be miserable. And so I branded myself. I reverse engineered what it's going to look like 10 years out. And I got to work. And the universe liked that. And I say very humbly, over the last 2.5 years, the brand's exploded. We have one of the top entrepreneurial podcasts on the planet, sponsored by Mark Cuban. Just got the record first time author book deal coming out in August. Speaking all over the world, coaching, all the things. Sold the business on Wall Street. This is it for me in some capacity for the rest of my life. And we're just getting warmed up. And the irony is, brother, and you'll appreciate this, I didn't necessarily step into my passion and my purpose for the money. But as I learned over the last 2.5 years, I'm making more money now than I ever made on Wall Street. Why? Because it's just a byproduct. It's an energetic exchange for adding value.
So hear this correctly. You left Wall Street to start your brand, Cultivating Lasting Sympathy. And because of that, and you was willing to lose money because you followed your passion, because you followed the anointing on the inside of you. Not only are you helping people, you're serving people, connecting to people, but now because you're serving people, you're making more money than you've ever made in your past.
Yeah, we have so many opportunities, from the book deal, from speaking all over the world, all the things. And most importantly, I'm having fun. Like, this isn't work to me. People are always like, what are you on? I'm like, you don't get it. It took me 35 years to find myself. And I want to showcase to everyone. I think it's very important. It's one of the messages in the reinvention formula in the book, is that You can absolutely create a hybrid of making a massive impact, having a lot of fun, and unapologetically making a lot of money doing so.
Ooh, I like that, man. Cause you're right, man. I wake up every single day. I was like, wow, man, I get to do this for a living. And we make a lot of money, but over the money, we impact a lot of lives and we help a lot of people. Studies are showing nearly right now, currently in the year 2023, that nearly 70% of people live in paycheck to paycheck. When you dive deeper into the study reveals that out of that 70%, a large portion of those are people who make over six figures. These are people who are living paycheck to paycheck because of inflation, because of job loss. But a lot of people saying, man, we have an income problem. And here's the truth. We don't really have an income problem. We have a lack of utilizing our gifts and skills problem. You have the skills, you have the talents that God put on the inside of you. And I want to ask you this question. I want you to be very honest. Are you utilizing them correctly? Or are you just going to work, getting that check, coming home, and not really utilizing your gifts and skills to build wealth, to pay off debt? Well, listen, I am hosting a 100% free masterclass here with the next few days, and I'm teaching people how to build a personal brand, how to use the gifts and the skills that God put on the inside of you and turn that into an extra $1,000 to $5,000 a month to go towards paying off debt, to go towards, building an emergency fund, to go towards building a dream home. But I'm going to go even a step further. What if you can use the same principles I'm going to be teaching for free? You make an extra $1,000 to $5,000, but what happens if you could turn it into a six-figure income or maybe a seven-figure income within the next couple of years? Well, if you are ready to take control of your money, if you're ready to utilize the gifts and the skills God has given you to build a legacy, to build wealth for yourself, can you meet me? I want you to go to AnthonyONeal.com/save my seat. Again, that is AnthonyONeal.com/save my seat. Or you can click the link in today's show notes. It's 100% free. Come join me. Let me show you how we, my team and I, built a seven-figure brand and how we can put $1,000 in your pocket within the next 30 to 60 days. I'll see you soon. We help a lot of people get out of debt. We help a lot of people grow spiritually. We help a lot of people build wealth. We help a lot of people really experience joy and freedom. And really, what I'm really starting to become very passionate about here, Craig, is really helping people build their own table rather than working for someone else for the rest of their life. While they're working, they're building their own thing, building their own table that they could lead, that they could pass down to generations and generations. So I love how you said, hey, I didn't just leave because I liked something. I followed my passion. I followed my gift. And because of that, it's opened up major, major doors. What would you say to someone right now? I'm curious. And Craig has an amazing book called The Reinvention Formula: How to Unlock a Bulletproof Mindset to Upgrade Your Life. And I want to live right around that last part, mindset. Unlock the mindset to upgrade your life. I know it's bulletproof, but for the sake of today's conversation, what would you say to someone who's saying, I'm on this job, I'm making great money, I have great benefits, Craig. I mean, great benefits, full medical, full dental, full eye, making six figures. I am comfortable. I don't know if my passion and my calling and my specific gift will make me that much money on the side and make me this comfortable. What would you say to someone who's struggling with that thought of stepping out and following their passion right now?
I believe we all are here for a specific reason, and it's our responsibility to identify what that is and use our God-given gifts and showcase that to the world. And so it's as easy as formulating a tangible strategy. Let's make a list
Mm,
of 10 things that we really love, anything, no matter what. A second list, 10 things that you're really good at, skill set, superpowers. And then somewhere in the middle, there's going to be some data, and we can marry those two. And just to be clear, like, what's the old expression, like good is the enemy of great? So in the
mhm,
scenario that you just said, like if you're not waking up enthusiastic and excited every single day, then you're not in alignment. And I understand that
mhm.
your job might be good and it might pay well, but if you're not having fun, if you're not looking forward to the weekend, if it really feels like work, then there's something else out there for you. And here's the thing. There's usually two voices in our head. One's the ego or the devil, the opponent, whatever you want to call it. That's loud. That's the one that we have to combat every single day. But then the soul, like your spirit, will whisper at you. It's usually very silent. And that's the one that you have to raise the volume for and lean into. That's where the rewards are.
Ooh, I like how you said that, man. And that's something that is very true. If you're not excited about getting up and going to work, um, hey, listen, you need to start looking and possibly even reinventing yourself so you can find that excitement, so you can find that joy, so you can find that peace, because the world needs the gift that's on the inside of you. And if you're
Yes.
going to a job and you're not excited, you're not feeling blessed to have this opportunity, if you're not waking up saying, okay, cool, how can I help people today? How can I best serve? Then you're not really hitting your full potential that God put on the inside of you. So I think there is a reinvention in yourself. I had to reinvent myself. I was used to getting up and I was excited about going to work, but I was like, man, there's so much more inside of me that I really want to do. And I had to reinvent myself to go from an employee thought mindset to an employer mindset. I had to reinvent myself from thinking of, okay, I can make about $250,000 a year to like, wow, well, wait. My business can make 10 million and we can give away 3 million to the homeless, to the needy. So there was some reinventing in myself. And based upon your book, you felt the need to reinvent yourself. I'm curious, man, what are some practical steps you talk about in your book and some practical steps that you did to reinvent yourself that people can take away today and start the journey?
Yeah, it's interesting because I want to change the perception of what reinvention really is, right? Reinvention is not starting over. It's
Mm,
finishing and executing on what you have been dying to do. And there's something in all of us that we want to do. And we need to, like I said, raise the volume of that and lean into that. Now, I'm really spiritual these days and really into that stuff, but I like to marry that with the practical and the tangible. So for your listeners and your audience right now, but how, Craig? Like, how do you pivot successfully and have all these connections in the career and the fiance and all that? Well, first and foremost, you have to get your mindset right. So for me, I felt so stuck in this story or this movie on Wall Street a few years back that I would only make a certain amount of money, similar to how you had. I would never have true happiness. I saw people online that were so happy. It's like, that's not in the cards for me. I was so invested. I was planting seeds in this garden that wasn't real. It was a
mm,
movie. When
mm,
it got quiet for me in the pandemic and I blocked out the interference and I just connected, it occurred to me that I had a choice. I could choose a different story. I could choose a different movie. In fact, I could actually change the cast of characters in my movie. I could change the plot for the next scene once I started believing. And just like that, I started challenging my limitations. Usually everyone has these limitations. Oh, that's not in the cards for you. Who's going to want to listen to you? Or what are people going to think of you? That's not real. Thought,
mm,
not facts, right?
mm,
So you can select and choose a different thought to take up real estate. And once you start being super intentional with the positive thoughts, I am worthy, I can do this, I am a gladiator, whatever is good for you. Now you start creating new beliefs, new physiology, and now you're available. And that leads to better behaviors and habits, and then ultimately brand new results. So first and foremost, you have to change your mindset and what's possible for you.
mm. I like that. You said change your thoughts. After you change your thoughts, what was the next one?
Then you create new beliefs,
New beliefs. Okay.
new
And then once
act,
you create new beliefs,
new actions and behaviors,
yep. I'm writing this down for myself, man, because you helping me out. New actions and behaviors,
and then brand new results.
and then brand new results. All right. So we have it starts with changing your mindset. In the
Mhm.
process of changing your mindset, you got to have new thoughts. And I like how you're breaking this down because if we could change our thoughts, then we could change what we believe. When we change what we believe, our actions and our behaviors change. When our
Right.
actions and behavior changes, then I even think that gives us daily new habits. Those daily new habits now produce brand new results.
That's exactly right.
So, like those of y'all listening right now, man, I want freedom, Anthony. I want to get out of debt. Okay, cool, great. You got to change how you look at money. You got to change the
Right.
thought process behind money. Once you change the thought process behind money, now you have a new belief system around wealth. Once you have a new belief system around wealth, you're going to start moving different. You're going to live below your means. You're not going to be spending over your limits. And when you're not spending over those limits, now you're no longer just in debt. You're getting out of debt and you're building wealth. Man, this is a system that I think everyone needs to write down if you have not written it down. You need to pause this podcast, pause this on YouTube, and you need to write this down and you need to read over this every single day. You can apply this practical system in every aspect of your life, not just wealth, but let's just say if you want to start a business, you got to go through those 4 things. So this is very, 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 very practical. Now let me ask you this, Craig. When you was going through this process, when you were reinventing yourself, because you said reinventing is not starting over. I listen and I take notes. You said it's about finishing and executing what you started to do. The finishing and executing of what you started to do is not easy, because it's like it takes dedication. It takes you being determined. It takes you to go through the fire. It takes you to keep pushing when you feel like quitting. How did you, in the reinvention process, in the process of finishing and executing what you started to do, how did you keep yourself motivated to push through the hard seasons, the rough seasons, the seasons you felt like giving up?
Yeah, so I'm very intentional and methodical with everything I do. So when I broke this thing down, and I was saying earlier, like I didn't want to be the next Tony Robbins, I want to be the first Craig Siegel, but you have to progress in life, right? So I broke this down to like a 10-lane highway, Anthony. I don't want to rely upon one thing for income. So I looked at it as coaching, a community, a podcast, a book, speaking all over the world, all the things. So it's like a 10-lane highway. And then I began to reverse engineer it. And I was so strategic and selective, but also I love this so much. Like this is my assignment now. I spent far too much time underachieving, and I want to showcase what's possible for everybody. So when you love something like this, I mean, you're determined to make it through the inevitable, and spoiler, there will be adversity, obstacles, and challenge. But here's the thing. You got to negotiate the price in advance, because if you want to build anything special, anything worthwhile, really magical, there's going to be a season of grind in the beginning, or also some adversity. But if you love it, if you have a strong enough why, if you know why you're doing this, instead of having fear towards that, you transform the fear into excitement. Now it's just problem solving and extracting lessons. This didn't work. Here's how we can make it work, and so forth. So you better love it if you're going to go all in.
That's so good. So change the fear into excitement.
Yep.
And I like that, man. I remember I was on the golf course. I've shared this story before. And there's, I golf all the time, Craig, and every Friday, every Saturday. And there's this hole on this particular golf course when I was living in Nashville. It's hole number 10. And hole number 10 always had, it was a par 4, but if you are a rookie or scared, it was a par 5, because you would have to hit over the water. Oh, I mean, it's a long, like you have to clear the water to hit the green. And if you do it, you can make a birdie. And I would see all these older guys hitting it and killing it. And every time I tried to hit it, Craig, I would land in the water. And so one day I was with this older guy and I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to break even. I'm just going to make par. And so I hit it not over the water. I hit it up 100 yards so I can have a good clean shot, not over the water, over onto the green. Well, this older guy sees me and he says, hey, man, why'd you go the easy route? And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, the easy route. I don't want to lose my ball. I am fearful of losing my ball. He said, man, every time you get to this edge, which is so good what you're saying, he said, you should get excited of the opportunity to accomplish something new that you've never done. And you should never, ever run from that excitement. You should never, ever run from this fear, because what you're doing is you're letting the fear determine who you are. You're letting the fear lead you down a different way. You're letting the fear of losing your ball make you into a man that you're not. You're not a loser. You're not fearful. You can do it. He says, so every time you get the opportunity to beat your fear, you should get excited. And if the ball goes in the water this time, you should get excited. The next time when you come back, you're going to address it. And so what you're talking about there, man, is change your fear into excitement. That's how I approach everything now. It's like, okay, all right, this hit me. This bothered me. This made me a little nervous. But I'm excited because if I can learn how to get over this, I'm going to be a better man. You could be a better woman. And so, man, I just, man.
I love it.
When I think about that and just hearing you say that, you just got me convicted about other things, man. I was fearful to leave I was with this guy named Dave Ramsey for close to 7 years, going on 8, I think. And it was fearful to step out on my own. But a part of me, after I got over my fear, after I got over my nervousness, man, I got excited to to show the world what Anthony is and what I can contribute to the world. I got excited to show the world. And trust me, man, every single day I wake up a little fearful because I have a team of people to where them and their families depend on my life. But I get excited because I'm like, wow, it's going on about 2.5 years now. And it's like, man, we've built it. We're getting over it. We're hiring more people. So, man, thank you for that statement. I hope you all listening right now are writing this stuff down. And I want to encourage you that if you're ready to unlock a bulletproof mindset and if you're ready to upgrade your life, I want to encourage you to get my friend's book. I want to encourage you to get Craig's book, the Reinvention Formula: How to Unlock a Bulletproof Mindset to Upgrade Your Life. I tell you all the time that the key ingredient to success is to mind your business. And when I say mind your business, I'm talking about your mind is a business. And how are you growing your number one asset? You got to be reading, you got to be listening to the right things. And this is an amazing book that is released. And I want you to go get it because I promise you it will bless your life. Some practical steps in here on how to unlock your bulletproof mindset, how to upgrade your life, and really how to reinvent yourself. And listen, he didn't say you start over. He's going to help you identify what was some of the things that you started that you did not finish and execute. And once you finish and execute those things, you're going to be much better off. So I want to go back to some of the practical stuff here, Craig. What is one practical way people can start making their dreams, turning their dreams into reality? I have a lot of people right now who they listen to me because their dream is to get out of debt. Their dream is to build wealth. Their dream is to start and to build like their own table, their own business, so they can leave a legacy to their children's children. But they're faced with a mountain top of debt. They're faced with hurdles that they think they cannot get over with. They're faced with, watch this. They're faced with Instagram, seeing everybody else succeed, but they're not succeeding. They're faced with seeing the world's positive highlights, but not their real highlights. And so they're like, yo, can my dreams really come reality? They're nervous. They're fearful. What would you say is a practical way for people to start making their dreams not just become dreams, but honestly, going back to reinventing yourself, finishing those dreams and executing those dreams?
Yeah, I just love you. So there's that. I love your energy, brother. There's so many things to unpack there. Number one, I know a lot of people suffer from comparison syndrome, and just to address that real quick. Number one, don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 5 or 20. And if we're being real with each other, I think you just attested to it. Most of the stuff that you see isn't real on social media, so take that with a grain of salt. But stay in your lane. And also, lastly, if you see others win, if you don't like them, clap, because they're showcasing what's possible, right? And winners don't have time to hate. In regards to practical steps, this is a 7-figure conversation right now for everyone listening. This is what I would say. You can't hit a target you can't see. So you want to create audacious goals. You want to set the intention. So for me, I want it to be the Apple of personal development, right? Speaking all over the world, the book deals, the podcast, all that stuff. That's great. You should absolutely have clarity. But then I want you to let it go and marry the process, divorce the outcome. Some people want something so badly that they actually create resistance, and it creates a blockage that they can't have it because they fear not to have it. So set the intentions, have the audacious goals, reverse engineer. Now, what is literally step one? How you don't have to get a touchdown or a 7-figure deal every single day, but what can I do today to get a first down, to move the chains, to make a little bit of progress? And you stack magical moments. Everything you do, you don't worry about 20 minutes from now, 20 minutes ago, it's just me and you right now. And mindfulness is the portal to expansion. So you continue to operate like that each and every activity, and it compounds. And don't be surprised how quickly things begin to fall into alignment. So don't worry so much about the end goal. Absolutely set the intentions, but then divorce from that and marry the process.
Like it's not deep, but it's so deep when you really listen to it. It's like you said, hey, look at the target, identify the target, identify where you want to go, Get the process to get you to the target. Once you identify the system, the daily routine, your daily habits, forget about the end goal. Just now focus day by day on the process. And this is what I call, you call it process. I call that the system. What is the strategy that's going to get you to where you want to go? Every July, I break away. I take the whole month off, and I come up with the strategy. Everyone starts their year in January. I start my year in July because that's my birthday. And I'm like, okay, cool. What do you want by this time next year? Once I have that, I identify what is the strategy to get there. And then I do not think about the end goal. I'm like, all right, cool. If I just focus on this, I'm going to get there. And here's the thing. Let's say if I don't get there, Craig, I got closer than I would have ever gotten without the strategy. So it's like, if I have a strategy, I'm gonna get closer. If I don't have a strategy, I'll never even get even close or even hit the target. Marry the process, divorce the outcome.
That's it.
That's going to be a clip. We're going to clip that and put that on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
That's the clip right there. That is the clip because it's so simple. You want to get out of debt? Cool, great. Identify how much money you have to get out of debt. Once you get out of debt, follow the system that I teach, that maybe Dave Ramsey teach on Financial Peace University. Divorce the amount of debt. Don't rack up any more debt and stick to the strategy of getting out of debt. You want to build wealth? Like you said, you want to make 7 figures within the next 2 years? Cool. That's your goal. Identify the strategy, what it takes to get there. Forget about making 7 figures. Follow the strategy. You want to get married? You want to find you a husband? You want to find you a wife? First off, you may need to check yourself. It might be you the reason why you're not married. It was me, but I had to get rid of that and just focus on becoming a better man. Listen to the strategy and focus on becoming a better man, growing every single day. And you know what? It is definitely working. Man, we got about 6 more minutes. I'm gonna try to get. I have some good questions here that I would love to do, not to do to get through. But that's so good, man. Marry the process, divorce the outcome.
That's it.
We could break that down some more, Craig, but I got 3 more questions that I want to ask you.
Sure.
What advice would you give to someone who is sitting here? I said, I hear you. You're talking about marry the process, divorce the outcome. But I don't think I'm worthy of a 7-figure career. I don't think I'm worthy of a 7-figure opportunity. Anthony, you're talking about building wealth and getting. I don't think I'm worthy of that. I made so many mistakes in the past. Who am I? Like I don't really have nothing of value. What would you say to encourage people who are feeling unworthy of something? Or not. I'm gonna put like this towards your book. What do you say to people who feel unworthy of an upgrade to their life?
Yeah, first of all, I would say 3 words. Why not you? Why not?
Mm,
And then every single limitation that you have that's convincing you that you're buying into and feeding that you're not worthy, I challenge you, the listener right now, to challenge those limitations. Is it possible that they're not real? And that you've been conditioned, whether through your parents, environment, society, and you've cultivated them over time, right? That's why in the Matrix, it becomes unplugged. It's like, go to your browser history of your mind and clear browser and start fresh. Let's remove all the limitations that we built up over time and let's start new. You are available. You are connected. There is nothing that you can't figure out. It's all out there for you. It starts with letting go of the stuff that's keeping us playing small. And as I like to say, playing small is canceled.
Yeah, it is canceled, man. In regards to your book, I want to talk a little bit about it because I want people to get it. One of the things I always ask every author that comes on my show is I do a little bit of research, and there's in the personal development space, man, literally, there's over 50,000 plus personal development books in the world. It's saturated with good books, but then it's saturated with a lot of nonsense, with a lot of books that is just a bunch of fluff and just not healthy. I'm curious, when you were going through your thought process of bringing this book into the world to help people, you said that you studied this space, and so you saw all the books, and you probably read the best of the best books. Out of reading the best of the best books, what did Craig see missing in the personal development space that sparked you to write the reinvention formula?
Yeah, so it's funny that you say that because I couldn't agree more. There's a lot of books out there, most of them just like principles and tools, and that's great, but a lot of it's repetitive. I wanted to create something that I haven't quite seen before, something a little bit different. So one thing that somebody couldn't deny about me, even if they didn't like me, hard to believe I know, is that I'm an expert in reinvention, right? Because I had
Mm.
a life for essentially 35 years, but more specifically a career for 13. And then I pivoted into something with no experience, no connections, no followers, to what people say they've never seen someone build a brand in a short amount of time with that much success, and very humbled by that. But how? Well, how I did that was I was studying personal development for so long, breaking down neurolinguistic programming, how you speak to yourself, the law of attraction, how to tap into the energy stuff, Kabbalah, all the things. And I put it in one vessel, right? And also, it's not a memoir because I'm only 38 years young. I'm not Walt Disney by any means yet. So it's a little bit about my story, and so people kind of have an introduction as to who I am and why they should care for the next 50 years. But it's really the lessons extracted from them, and then combine that into a hybrid with the tools that I've been studying in one vessel. And I can guarantee, look, you can't guarantee commercial success and stuff like that. And a lot of my friends and big authors say they lose their soul in the process. So I'm divorced from that outcome. But I can guarantee this: is somebody picks up this book or it enters their home, just the energy behind it is going to be able to elevate them. This isn't a niche topic. Everybody deep down knows that they could be doing a little bit more. And there's something in this book for everybody, how to get into alignment, make more money, change your mindset. And a lot of the things that I've done that have made me successful are very weird and strange. And people call that authenticity. So it's just a weird style, but it's a lot of fun. And we talk about all the setbacks, the obstacles. It's not just the pretty stuff. And how I was able to bounce off that and tangibly what tools I applied to reinvent myself to a tremendous amount of success. So it's not your typical book of just principles. I think we've read enough of those, brother.
What is your favorite chapter in the book? I'm curious. You're the author. I love that because I'm in the process of writing a book myself, and man, I'm like, man, this is a chapter right here. Oh man, this is gonna be the chapter right here. But really, it's like, what is that chapter that you was like, yo, this is, if they can get this chapter, it was worth the whole book.
Yeah, I'm going to give you two.
Okay.
Number one is the 4 minute mile. And make a long story short, the story goes is nobody for hundreds of years could break the 4 minute mile. It couldn't be done. In fact, it could kill you, your heart. Then all of a sudden somebody did because they thought a little bit differently. And then everybody did. So what really happened there? Somebody showcased what's possible by expanding their paradigms. And that's what life's all about. If you could just challenge your perception of the world, everything opens up. And in another chapter, I'm really weird and strange. And I showcase all that. And I get a lot of inspiration from movies and stuff that I'm a big movie guy. One of the movies that I saw that really made a lasting impression was The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman. It's a true story of P.T. Barnum, who created the circus. That guy had no limitations. I mean, he was so creative. People thought he was like, his reality was distorted. And a lot of the greats are Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, all those cats, and P.T. Barnum's was as well. And I think creativity and curiosity are two really great traits for everybody to incorporate into their life. This guy challenged everything, and he created the circus. And at first he was scoffed at, and now it's one of the biggest things ever. So I love to extract inspiration from everything, this conversation, movies and books and so forth. So the 4 minute mile and the Greatest Showman are two that come to mind, but there's a lot more too.
Man, listen, I cannot wait to read the entire book. I've had a chance to read the first chapter, but I'm looking forward to just really, really diving deep into this book because I think all of us need some reinvention. It's not just for people who are looking to be successful, it's even for people who are already experiencing some level of success. I think the one thing I've learned about myself is I'm always asking questions and I'm always looking to grow and evolve as a man, as a leader, as a business owner, as a brother, as a soon to be husband, hopefully one day, as a soon to be father, hopefully in the years to come. So I should always be completing something that I started. I should always be executing something that I've started. And we need this formula to help us reinvent ourselves and to help us accomplish a goal. So thank you, man, for your contribution to this earth, to this assignment. I am praying major success, New York Times bestseller in this book. Tell my friend Mark Cuban I said hello. I've done some work with him in the past, and we are rooting for you. Where can the people find out more about you, your CLS community, and everything you have going on?
Yeah, so if you want to grab the book, we're doing a lot of bonus incentives. You get access to our big virtual event. Just go to the reinventionformula.com. In regards to me, anywhere you listen to podcasts, the CLS Experience, we're on all the socials at Craig Siegel _CLS. CultivateLastingSymphony.com if you want to find a little bit more about our community. And if you like free daily inspirational nuggets and strategies, join our texting community. You can text 917-634-3796 and text with Anthony. So I know that you're from this conversation. Come say hello. I'd love to interact.
Hey man, love it. We're going to put all that in today's show notes, you guys. Make sure you all go check it out. Make sure you get the book, log in with him, rock out with him, and grow and reinvent yourself. And let us know if you do it and over the next 6 months to a year and you see some transformation. Hey, let us know so we can get him back on here and continue helping Craig spread his message. So we love you, Craig. Appreciate you for coming to the table. And everyone else, we love you. God bless you. And we see you in the next show. Peace out.
Thank you, brother.